You are expected to, sorry?
Should we present ourselves before we begin the session?
Yes, we will give you that the time to do that when we present all the participants in this Zoom meeting.
Excellent, thank you. Good.
We can start now. So.
Okay. Hello. Okay, we will start now then. No. Welcome. Okay, everybody. Bom dia. Good morning, everybody. Let me start this session with a special welcome to Ambassador Westberg from Norway here in the room with us. Also a salutation to Ambassador António Quinteiro Nobre with us remotely from Norway. We also have various managers and educations who will be joining us later in the discussion panel, but I will leave Frederico the mission to introduce them and also the people in Norway with us today. It is my great honor as director of the School of Biosciences here at our institute to open this session and to introduce my dear colleagues involved in the Kids Dive project. We often hear about the need to manage the ecosystems wisely for our safe future. Sometimes we even hear about managing the ocean, when in reality, what we need is to manage our own behavior as individuals and as societies. That means we need to raise awareness, to change mentalities, especially in the young generations. That means we need great education initiatives. Fortunately, the young generations already show openness to change the future, to care for nature, to care for the precious ocean, to change our way of life in order to avoid more damage to natural ecosystems, to climate patterns, to avoid resource depletion and the extinction of animal and plant species. What the young generations need is opportunities to contact with scientists, with marine biologists, in the settings where the beauty of nature is overwhelming and where signs of human-induced damage might be shown and explained. That's the purpose of the Kids Dive project, which was officially launched this year, but which has been in preparation for a longer period in the context of our School of Biosciences, with the energy of our Professor Frederico Almada and his dedicated team. So thank you all very much for supporting this project. A special thanks to the EEA Grants Commission and for participating with us in this session. Welcome to Kids Dive. Thank you. Frederico, you have the floor.
Thank you. Well, before I start my presentation. I have a small presentation. I'll try to make it even smaller since we are a little bit late on schedule. I would like, obviously, to thank EA Grant for this opportunity to bring this project in its first international experience. So in your school, in Juvenile school, it's the first opportunity of Kids Dive to show itself to other schools than the Portuguese ones, where we have already done some sessions. I would like to thank EA Grants and also, of course, to my team, which in the last few days didn't stop even for a minute to take this webinar to everybody. I would also like to thank the presence of the first speakers, which will be Emanuel Gonçalves from Marispa and the Oceano Azul Foundation. I'm sure that you will enjoy the wonderful pictures and videos that he has to show you. And that's one of the purposes of Kids Dive. It's not to show that it's important to protect the ocean because of the bad things that are happening in the ocean, but especially to show the wonderful things that we have in the ocean and that deserve protection and attention. A little bit later, we have also a presentation from Ana Margarida Faria, which is a dear friend and colleague here at ISPA. It almost seems on purpose, but she just started another EA grant project, but that EA grant is to create a network, and that network will include researchers from Portugal and also from Norway. And I think that this is a very important idea or message that we want to share with you and with all the students, because it's possible to create these networks. And I think that it will bring something that it's more than each group of researchers in each country can do by themselves. I will skip the presentation of both Ambassador Westberg and Ambassador Antonio Quiteiro Nobre, because Manuel Eduardo had already the opportunity to do it. But thank you for giving this new perspective that no one else in this room could give, which is the bilateral relationships between two countries and where they can take us in the future. I won't finish this presentation without a special thank also to Mafalda Matos from the coordination of Blue Growth Program EA grants here in Portugal, which is on my left. She will participate in the roundtable also in the end of the session. And Patricia Conceição, also a dear friend that I know for many years now, and she's here as a representative of the General Direction of Maritime Policy and the Blue School, or Escola Azul, which is a program that has experienced a huge success in the last 2 years. And I think that you are part of that success because you are also a Blue School at Jessheim School. Of course, thank you, Professor Hans Toft, because your energy and your participation has made the difference. We are here now thanks to you and to your patience, mostly with the COVID-19 pandemic, which made us postpone all the schedules that we have previously discussed. So thank you to you. And of course, to Professor Claudia, I will give you a few minutes just to intervene, just to make a short presentation, if you don't mind. But I would like also to thank Professor Claudia Sampaio from Agostinho da Silva School, and also Professor Ana Pereira from Padre Alberto Neto School, two schools in Portugal, in Sintra, that it's also the municipality that it's participating with us as a partner in this project. Here in the room we have Raquel and Pedro. They will probably have some time to make to share a few words with us in the round table, but we will pass some videos of the president of the municipality of Sintra, which was not able to be here with us. So Hans, I don't know if you want to say a few words just to let us know what's the enthusiasm in the room right next to you. And afterwards, I will give a couple of minutes to Professor Claudia Sampaio to do the same, if she agrees.
Okay, thank you, Federico. And thank you for your kind words regarding my own participation in this project. Today with me, I'm lucky to have Ambassador Antonio Quinteiro with me, and also Gracia Sousa, who is who works at the Foreign Languages Institute at the University of Oslo, who we also cooperate closely with. So she teaches Portuguese in Oslo for students. And also I have some colleagues with me. I don't know if they are on screen, certainly not Doug Axel, who manages the technical details for us today. And with me also, I'm surrounded by our students at our European Studies program. And among them, we have the students that will be chosen to participate in the exchange we are going to arrange the upcoming spring. So among the students here, some of you will go to Portugal. Also, I should mention David, who is partly Norwegian and partly Cape Verdean. So one of his parents are from Cape Verde, so he speaks Portuguese. So we're very lucky to have him on board. And also Verena, who teaches English and German and are participating in the European Studies program as a very important person for us. And also Michelle, are you there? There she is. She is also one of our team members on the European Studies program, and she teaches Spanish and come on, help me, English and French. So she is with us also when it comes to promote our foreign language teaching here at ESIM. So I guess that's our presentation for today.
Thank you very much, Hans. It's really a pleasure. Well, I'm sure that it will be even bigger in the spring when we have the opportunity to meet each other, not with a screen between us, but it's always a pleasure to see faces and to see the enthusiasm over there, as well as in the Sintra School, that I will ask Professor Claudia just to say a few words, Professor, just to let us know how you are there in Sintra, in the school, and with the students before we start the presentations. You have to unmute yourself. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm here. Hello, everybody. I have to speak standly because the microphone is too high. Hello to everybody. I'm so proud to participate in this international project. This is my students. These are my students. Say hello. Bye. I see you soon.
Okay. Okay, Claudia, thank you very much. I'm sure that you will be worried about what you send us to share later in the roundtable. Don't worry, we have it here with us. So when it comes your time, you can just put the video on, and then you can make your intervention. Okay, so if you all agree, I think that we are now ready to start. I will try to cut things short with my presentation. I don't know if, let me know if you can hear us properly. And I will ask João. João is very nervous here. He's our IT technician. You won't see him because he's hiding, but he's trying to make everything work, at least from our part. And I'm sure that we can manage this huge task because he did it before, so we will do it again. So I guess that just tell me if you can see the presentation from your schools and where you are watching the session. We are already sharing the first slide, so I'm sure that from now on, yes, I'm having a okay from someone participating. So I will try to cut things really short. Kids Dive was a project that was not easy to start, and it was not easy because we didn't want to just to make a collection of different activities and then put them all together and just say that it's an ocean literacy project. We try to interconnect things between the different activities. And this interconnection had already a huge success with the previous project, which was a Fundo Azul project that allowed us to go to all over Portugal. Actually, we will be with that project. We will be in Madeira Island in November this year, bringing Kids Dive for the first time, outside continental Portugal, and then in the spring. in the continuation of this EA grant project, we will be able to take it even further, hopefully to Norway, and to know you with our own students from Portugal, and later to receive you in Portugal and show you our wonderful country and the wonderful things that we can see underneath the water. And it's in that work as marine biologists that we have an opportunity that there are not many people that have this opportunity every day, which is the, let me just make sure that we can. Okay, thank you. I'll probably make a sign so that you can know when I need a new slide. But so we are the lucky ones that have this opportunity to know each of these wonderful organisms, both in the coastal areas where we work, and also while scuba diving when we have that opportunity. You can see here our team working in this the picture that you can see on top is a picture of us working near Lisbon in a marine protected area near Lisbon, and the picture underneath is when we were diving in Selvagens Island, which is the southernmost area of Portugal and has these wonderful clear waters that you can see. I have here some videos that I will show you. These are from some of these little creatures that we can see. They may seem huge here, but that fish over there is about 15 centimeters length. And can we start the video? And the other image that you will be able to see, and that you can start already, João, if you don't mind, is an octopus that it's not larger than one of my fingers, because it's a juvenile, and we can see those juveniles in the places where we work. So we have this wonderful opportunity to see these magnificent creatures and to show them to all the students. That's one of the objectives of Kids Dive. To show that although there are many things that are no longer as they were before, there are many things that are still there and that still deserve protection. So I won't take more than this, because I'm sure that Professor Emanuel Gonçalves will have the opportunity to show you images that are even prettier than these ones. So I will just skip to the next slide, where we can see that we are actually lucky because we can know most of our planet, because sometimes I hear, is it Earth or is it ocean? Because most of our planet is actually ocean, and most of our planet, unfortunately, is still pretty much unknown. One of the things that it's not that nice that we understand from our work in ecology and following these different marine populations is that things are not getting better. Things are not even the same as they were. They are actually getting worse. And you can see here some juvenile fish that we have been following for the last 12 years. And the graphics that you see there in the slide are actually what's been happening in the last 12 years in terms of abundances and also of biodiversity. We have also learned that some things are not that linear. So the number of species and the number of individuals are not being reduced in that nicely orderly and smooth way that you can see in those graphics. You have a graphic underneath this slide that shows that sometimes we have some fish that are hugely abundant, and that doesn't happen in any other year in these 12 years of monitoring these species. And so with this, we can understand that sometimes when we talk about sustainability, we can talk about sustainability while things can be predicted. but there are things that cannot be predicted. And that's one of the big lessons that we learn while we are working with these marine creatures in our field surveys. What we know also is that it is urgent to do something, but the fact is that we hear that from different institutions. We hear that from different people, and sometimes you can hear from people that are from less than 20 years old to more than 80 years old, like you have these two examples here. And the fact is that things are not getting better. In fact, we are inside a cycle that is quite worrisome. So Kids Dive is a way to contribute to this protection and to this changing behavior that it's important, and that we as scientists feel that it's not our papers, it's not our work while giving a lecture in school from time to time. We need to do more. And Kids Dive is basically that. It's to our effort to do more than our contribution with scientific information. So we started to build some networks with some schools and also some municipalities. This is the example. This EA grant that you are here seeing with us now is an example of these partnerships between universities and scientists, researchers, between schools. You are participating here thanks to this network, and also municipalities, which are an important contributor to these events. So Kids Dive, in short, is these 4 days of activity that includes different tasks for all the students, and I will focus on only 2 of them. So, one of them is the scuba diving. Of course, it gives the name to Kids Dive project, and I'm just taking this opportunity to show or to tell you, to share with you that scuba diving is not only an activity that they can be involved in. It's actually a mind-opening activity. I mean, they can do these activities underwater, and they will be aware to other things that they will learn out of the water with us. For instance, you can see that hula hoop there in the top left of the screen. That behavior, that strange behavior of that student in front of that hula hoop is that because the hula hoop is covered with a transparent plastic sheet, and that means that the student is trying to understand what is in front of her, because the plastic underneath the water cannot be seen as we see it on the surface. So basically, we have a set of activities in the water that makes students aware of problems that they only hear and they do not experience when we make a presentation, an oral presentation such as this one. So we want to do something practical, something hands-on, and something that makes them aware of these situations, of the problem, for instance, that plastics can be underwater. Next. This is another activity, the field trip, where they can actually meet these creatures and to learn some histories about them. We mostly focus our attention on histories about the reproduction, about the interactions between different species. It's basically telling them curiosities about these species to make them create a connection, a bond between them and these ocean creatures. So this was before. Then we had a pandemic, and the pandemic almost brought Kids Dive to closure. But we actually have managed to do something about it. And Kids Dive, virtual version of Kids Dive just appeared back last year when we had this pandemic. What does this mean? This means that we will have a scuba diving session, but it's a virtual one with these masks that we have shared with you. I'm sure that we will enjoy that, but we have also made some live sessions via Instagram and also some virtual visits, both to Lisbon, Oceanário de Lisboa, and also to the zoo, the Lisbon Zoo. So this was the opportunity to respond to this pandemic. And we had this result in terms of number of students. These are not results of the AE Grant project. We are starting the AE Grant project today with this session. These are the previous results in Portugal, and we have increased 30-fold the number of students that we reached in 2021 in the middle of the pandemic. But of course, bringing these projects to students does not mean that they are engaged in marine protection. And so we had always a doubt that what was happening with the students. And that's when Tatiana, one of our team members, started her master's degree. And she started to make some inquiries with the students involved in this project. And I'm showing you here the first results, or the first preliminary results, which are a collaboration with a colleague of ours, which is Claudia Faria, that works in a different institute in Lisbon. And actually, the first results are promising because when we analyze all the students that we involved in this activity, before and after, comparing the results, we had significant results, even though this is a virtual program, or this was a virtual program. So as you may expect, we are very, very curious and also anxious to know what can happen when it's a presential or a hands-on project. So next slide. Here you can see what's happening both between ninth grade. Well, I'm sorry because of the titles. It's female and male because I'm a marine biologist. And so, of course, we are talking about students, boys and girls, or young boys and young girls. And so titles are more appropriate when we talk about our own objects of students of study, such as fish. But anyway, I think that you can see here that we had some nicer results to the female population in the ninth grade, and some nicer results also for when we compare young male students from the 10th grade compared to the 9th grade population. So these are only preliminary results, but these are important results for us because they give us an important message to take home. Is that if it's worth to go on to proceed with ocean literacy projects while we are in the middle of the pandemic, what will happen if we invest even more in these projects when they are presential, when we can bring the students to interact with these marine animals that we have the opportunity to do in our day-to-day work as marine biologists. So this was, next slide, please. This was what I had to present you, and I will pass on the presentation to Professor Emanuel Gonçalves, right next to me. But before, I would like again to thank HEA Grant financing for this opportunity, and also to challenge you to go to our social networks and to put there your like, so that we know that we have even more people interested in these kind of projects on ocean literacy and ocean protection. Thank you. I will pass on to Professor Emanuel Gonçalves, and I think that we can skip the questions to the round table if you agree, so that we can catch on some delay that we have now in our session.
Okay. Well, Frederick, thank you very much. I think I'm going to stand up if you don't mind, and welcome you all, ambassadors, colleagues, representatives of the different institutions, and of course, students. It's a great pleasure to be here with you today. And I'm going to focus on the ocean, of course, and on this existential emergency, and try to explain you why we are facing an existential emergency. I cannot quickly pass the slide, so I'm going to rely here on the tech support. So please, let's go to the first one. And I'm going to talk to you about science in the first place. And it's very important for you to understand that the science is clear about this existential crisis that we are facing. So there are no more doubts